What is up, YouTube? It is Docky Style Gaming, and I am back at it again with another Risk of Rain video for you all today. And we're going to be breaking down, personally, my favorite new addition to the Survivors of the Void update, and that is the Simulacrum. This game mode is literally all I've been playing for like the past 2 weeks, if I'm being real. So let's break it all down in depth. I went over it a bit in the Survivors of the Void expansion breakdown, but let's actually go over all of the details in the Simulacrum. So like I always say, without wasting any more of y'all's time, let's hop straight into this video and straight into this info. Now, like I said at the beginning, the Simulacrum is a brand new game mode that was added with the Survivor of the Void expansion. Again, this is definitely one of the best things to come out of the expansion, aside from the two brand new characters. But the Simulacrum is essentially an endless horde mode. Now, that might not sound like the most fun, but pairing it with all of the craziness that is Risk of Rain, you can literally play this for hours if you're good enough to do so. Now, again, I am still fairly fresh at the game, but that has not stopped me from literally just going hard in Simulacrum. Especially once you get to some of the higher waves and you are just maxed out on your items, it gets so crazy. The screen is just ridiculous. And like I said, it's just a stupid amount of fun, whether you're playing solo or playing with multiple people. And honestly, it's more fun to play with multiple people because similar to Borderlands, you can kind of jack other people's items, which is pretty nice. But I'll get into that when we start breaking it all down. Speaking of, let's get right into it. So the new Simulacrum game mode is a wave-based horde mode. Every wave you kill a multiple amount of enemies. Once all those enemies die, you head to the next wave. Now every wave you do get to select an item and you have a couple seconds to claim it, but what is interesting is, like I was saying a bit earlier, if you're playing with multiple people, all of y'all will get orbs that'll drop to select an item. Now if one of the other players in your teammate's a bit too slow, you can pick up their orb and take their item and they might not get nothing. So if you want to be that guy, you can just jack their item, which is honestly pretty funny. But if you're playing solo, you just get the regular 1 item drop per stage. Now every 5 stages and every 10 stages are boss fights. Now completing the boss fight on every 5th stage, you're going to get a location change on the map where your focus will move and you must follow it, and is honestly the best time to run around that map and get as many additional items as you can. Though if you stay out of the focus for too long, it will kill you and you will start to lose health. So be careful and be fast once that focus starts to move, because again, the longer you stay out of the focus, the more health you'll tend to lose, and the higher the stages get, the more health you'll lose as well, and that can easily kill your run. Now speaking of killing your run, if you are playing solo, once you die, you're done. But if you are playing with multiple players, if someone on your team dies, they'll be resurrected the next wave. Now, if everybody dies, the whole game is over. So sometimes the weak link may not hold your team back initially, but as you get to some of those higher waves, when you'll need a full squad, you'll definitely start to feel it and you'll definitely start to notice. But with all the items and mayhem and craziness going on, you should still be pretty good to go pretty far in some of these waves. Now, again, like I said, every 5 waves and 10 waves are boss fights. Now, every boss fight typically drops a higher rarity item for you to pick up, so those are always really good fights to go to, but also every 10 waves is your stage change wave. Once you complete the 10th wave of that stage, you'll get a portal that will send you off to a brand new location, which generally means more loot and new enemies for you to fight that are also, of course, going to be at a higher difficulty. Now, early on, wave 5 and wave 10 boss fights are fairly standard and fairly simple, but all of the boss fights will have modifiers that will affect you for the duration of that stage. And some of those modifiers can be a pain in the ass. On some of the earlier stages, you'll be good. And again, if you're playing in a team and if you have some weak links, it might not be too bad early on. But again, once you get to some of those higher stages, on the higher difficulties, even with a slew of items, it still may not be a walk in the park for you. Now, lastly, speaking of waves, and even though I covered this in my previous Risk of Rain video, if you do manage to get to 50 waves, you will unlock the new survival survivor in the game, the Void Fiend. And if you watch my video on the Void Fiend, you know he's currently one of my favorite characters to play with right now in Risk of Rain 2. So if you don't have that character, it is definitely beneficial for you to at least try to get to wave 50, because hey, there's nothing wrong with getting more characters to the game. So that's pretty much Simulacrum in a nutshell. Again, it is definitely a fun game mode, and it's definitely one of the best time killers when playing Risk of Rain, because you can literally just sit in there for hours and stay in there for multiple waves and just go crazy. So if you are on PC and haven't picked up Survivors of the Void, it is currently on Steam right now for you to pick up and play, and it'll be coming to consoles, they said, in Q2 2022, which literally is in a couple weeks. So for the PC players, you can play it right now and get a head start, and for console players, you'll be getting it very soon as well. Other than that though, if you have played the Simulacrum game mode, what is the highest wave you've got to so far? Honestly, I haven't been keeping track in the community, but I am very curious to see how high some people have actually gotten in the Simulacrum in both solo and team play. So let me know in the comment section below. But with that, I am going to wrap it up. So like always, thank you all for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you liked the video. If you didn't, still leave a like. And if you aren't in the Discord, a link to that is in the video description, along with the link to the Twitch channel where I stream just about every game that I cover on the channel. Other than that, I will catch you all in the next one, guys. So thank you all for watching again. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the subs. Peace.